How to do makeup for hooded eyes. Because look at my eyes, when I look straight on, there's literally no lid space to work with. But once I've done my eyeshadow, you wouldn't know that. So here's how I do it to make it look like I have more of an eyelid. So I'm just gonna take a matte, like kind of neutral brown shade and start blending it through my crease. You could even take your bronzer if you wanted to. This has just gone so patchy, let me blend this. And by the way, when I say the crease of my eye, I mean like if you feel it, that's where the socket is. If I look straight ahead, I wouldn't apply it all the way down there, like where the actual fold is, like in the actual socket up there. So the most important part is getting as much contrast as you can between the crease of your eye and the lid of your eye. Why did I say lid of your eye? Your eyelid. So I'm gonna take a light, like metallic shimmer shade on the eyelid. This is from the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Do you wanna make sure you bring this in as far as possible, like even over here? There you go. So for eyeliner, I actually take a pencil eyeliner and I only put it on the outer corner just here, really, really thinly to add some more definition. I'm gonna show you how it looks with all my makeup on now. So here's the final makeup and you guys can see how much more defined my eyes are, how much more you can see my eyelid. I just love it.
Hey guys, so in today's video, we're gonna be talking everything hooded eyes. I'm gonna take you through all of the do's and don'ts of hooded eyes eyeshadow, the best tips and tricks to make your eyes look bigger and brighter, and the things that you should probably avoid that are just going to make your eyes appear droopy, tired, less open, less bright, less wide awake, all of the things that you don't want. These are all very, very simple, quick, easy tips. You're not going to need anything, you're not gonna need to buy anything outrageous. You'll be able to use everything that you've already got at home. And hopefully this answers some of the questions that I know heaps and heaps of you have about hooded eyes. I understand the struggle when you look at this amazing masterpiece of eyeshadow on like Instagram, or you watch somebody do it on YouTube and it's like this big wing, it's like this cut crease glitter, everything amazing on this beautiful blended out eye, and then you put it on your own eye and you're like, that just does not look the same on my eyes. Yeah, eye shapes really do play a big role in, eyeshadow and the ways to do eyeshadow. And hooded eyes, like a lot of people think, oh, my eyes are hooded, bad, negative, bad. Hooded eyes are not bad. They're a different shape. You've got to tweak things a little bit. You've got to, move things around a little bit, and, you'll still look absolutely beautiful at the end of it. All eyes are beautiful. All eyes, all shapes, all sizes. Everyone's perfect. All right, so if you are interested in learning all of the do's and don'ts for hooded eyes and the best tips and tricks for hooded eyes, then please stick around. All right, so firstly, for those of you that may not know, I wanted to quickly show you exactly what a hooded eye looks like and what a hooded eye is. Basically, when your eyes are hooded, essentially this little section of skin that is above the eyelid, it hangs down a little over top of the crease there and sort of folds down over the lid and does cover up the eyelid. So that's why it's really, really important to make sure that we make a couple of changes with our eyeshadow techniques to get the eyes looking as big and as bright as possible. Now, the first don't is actually, it's got to do with filling in your brows. When you do have hooded eyes or even downturned eyes, you don't want to be extending the tail of your brow down past the height of the inner part of your brow or the head of the brow. Filling the brows in this shape will cause that outside part of the eye to look even more hooded and more downturned. So what you want to do instead is actually sort of fill the brows in more of a straight line and try to keep the tip of the brow at the same height at the head of the brow to keep that area looking nice and bright, to keep it upward lifted, to pull up the eyes, to pull up the face, and just make you look a whole lot more youthful. So see how this brow sort of goes out in an outward direction rather than pulling down? That's the way that you need to do it. The next don't of hooded eyes is not priming and also not setting down your eye primer. Unfortunately, when we do have hooded eyes, it means that skin is folded and you're at a much, much higher likelihood of getting folding and creasing in your eyeshadows, and you'll also get oil settling in there, which is going to disrupt your entire eyeshadow look. So make sure that you do use a really good crease-proof primer, like a great eyeshadow primer, and then make sure to also powder it down really, really well with a translucent powder to ensure that it doesn't crease. The next don't is to place your transition color or your blending color directly in the crease. Basically, when you do this, when the eyes are open, because they are hooded, you're not going to be able to see any of that color in there, and it's also going to close off the eye. What we want to do instead is actually create sort of like a fake crease, and we want to apply that blending color, that dark transition shade, slightly just above the crease to create a fake crease and to give the eye the illusion of being much wider, much bigger, and much more open. See the difference that makes? So on one side there, I've packed that color right into the crease. You basically can't see it. And then on the other side, I have filled it up a little bit higher and the eye is already looking much brighter. Now, in addition to this, when blending the inner corner of the eye, a really neat trick is to actually not follow the natural curve of the eye, but instead when filling in the transition towards the inner corner, you want to imagine a straight line and blend the transition color in towards the bottom of the head of the brow. Sort of imagine a straight line, keeping the inner corner of the eye free of any deeper colors, and see how it really widens and brightens up the eyes, and again helps them appear a lot less hooded. The next don't for hooded eyes is blending in the outer corner with deeper colors in a downward sort of direction. This pulls down the outside of the eye and will also make the eye appear more hooded. What you want to do instead is sweep your eyeshadow upwards and outwards towards the tail of the brow, really buffing it out, and this will help to again lift the eye, brighten the eye, and open up the area to help the eyes appear less hooded. The next don't is using deep colors and dark colors all the way across the lid and blending them towards the inner corner. When we have hooded eyes, we want to create the illusion of really, really nice, bright, open eyes to make the eyes look a lot bigger and a lot less hooded. And the best way to do this is to apply deep shades only in the outer corner, buffing them in, blending them outwards, and then light colors on the inner corner. This applies for both mattes and shimmers, but using dark on the outside and light on the inside will really help the eyes appear much brighter and wider. The next don't is basically repeating this through the lower lash line. Using heavy, deep shades through the entirety of the lower lash line will close the eye in, will pull the eye down, it will make the eyes appear smaller, more dull, and just sort of less visible and striking. So again, deep shades only in the outer corner of the lower lash line, and then we want to use nice bright light shades on the inner corner just to help whiten and brighten that entire area up. The next hooded eyes don't is applying a shimmer over the entire brow bone. When we do have a hooded area on the eye, applying a shimmer all over it is basically going to draw light and attention to this area, and it will actually make the hood of your eye appear much larger and much puffier, and like it hangs down a whole lot more than it actually does. So when using a brow highlight, make sure to tuck it up directly under the brow bone only to ensure that the eye looks nice and bright and open. And the same sort of thing goes for applying shimmers on the actual lid. What we want to do when we have hooded eyes is actually, apply a light shimmer or even a darker shimmer on the lid, and then also make sure to highlight the inner corner. Again, this will just lift the entire eye and brighten it. So here you can see I've applied the shimmer all over the hood of my eye, and then on the other side only on the brow bone, and I've highlighted the inner corner, and there's a massive difference in the way the eyes look. The next hooded eyes don't is applying really, really thick eyeliner. Essentially, when you do that, when the eyes are open, you're not going to be able to see any of the eyeshadow. All you're going to be able to see is a black line because we've got such a small visible lid space, or for some people there's no lid space at all. So what we want to do is apply a really, really thin line instead. And when we are creating wings on hooded eyes, we want to do the tail and the flick of the wing. We're going to carry it out further out past the eye and then start winging it up, missing the crease or the fold of the hood. If we actually don't miss the crease or the fold of the hood, what happens is it closes the eye in, but it also causes transferring. So you're going to get your eyeliner smudging and transferring all up on your top lid. I don't know about you, but I prefer to avoid that look. Alright, so next up we have eyeliner in the lower waterline. When we've got hooded eyes, we want to try and avoid using a dark color through the entire bottom waterline, smudging the black all the way through there. It's okay to use a little bit in the outer corner, and that can help the eyes to look nice and smoky and elongated, but over the rest of the waterline you want to stick with a white or a light beige color. This again will help to open and brighten the eyes and help them appear less hooded. Next up for mascara, I find a lot of people tend to avoid mascara on the lower lashes when they have hooded eyes. It's a common misconception, but actually applying mascara on both your upper and lower lashes helps the eyes appear brighter and wider and sort of more fluttery. So without mascara here on this side and with, and you can tell the big difference that it does make. The next don't for hooded eyes is selecting the wrong shaped lashes. For hooded eyes, you want to go with a lash that is shorter on both the outer and inner corner, and then longer through the center, because this will help the eyes to appear much more round in shape, more open, more wide, more bright, and just a whole lot more awake, which you can never be mad about. So you can see the big difference here. Also, not trimming the lashes on the outer corner and having them extend down too far past the eye will make your eyes appear more droopy and more hooded. And then the final hooded eyes don't that I have for you guys is not using a concealer underneath the eye to brighten the area and leaving any dark areas under the eye space. face. This will again cause the eye to appear droopy, you know, more downturned, more hooded, less awake, and just, you know, we want the eyes to look as bright and as awake as possible. So there you have it, guys. Those are my best hooded eyes do's and don'ts. I hope today's video helped you. If you do have any more questions or anything that you need help with, please be sure to leave your comments down below. I hope you're having an amazing day. I love you guys heaps, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye!
Hey everyone, today I want to teach you guys a super easy liner look that absolutely everyone can wear. It's only 3 steps. First, grab a gel eyeliner, pencil, or cream, and I'm going to take this right along my lash line. Remember to start small and then build up. You can always add more, but it's harder to take off. Only take the liner halfway across your eye, leaving the inside completely blank. Now that the liner is on, I'm going to take a sharp angled brush to blend out the liner. I'm using soft flicking motions to carefully blend and soften the liner. I'm using the tip of the brush to sharpen up that inner corner, and then to flick out the tail as well. If you have slightly more hooded eyes, take the liner and apply it right under the outer corner. Then if you want to add a little more depth, you can take a little bit of a matte black shadow and simply press it right along your lash line. With this method, you don't have to worry about perfecting your lines, and you can always smoke it out more for a softer look. Then simply apply your favorite mascara and some lashes if you'd like, and there you have it, a super easy liner look that everyone can wear.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Marta, and I'm so happy to have you here. For today's video, I'm going to show you how I created this look. This look might look a bit hard and complicated, but it's super easy. So I will show you step by step how to create it, so it can be easy for you, especially if you're a beginner. This is perfect for small or hooded eyes, so I hope you like it. Before we get started, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button to be a part of this little family, and turn on the bell notification so you won't miss any of my videos, and give this video a big thumbs up please before you leave. And now let's get started. So first, I'm going to grab my Rimmel Stay Matte Concealer and clean the bottom of my eyebrows using the Real Techniques Detailer brush. You can skip this step because it's not important for eyeshadows, and this is what I always like to do so my eyebrows can look cleaner and more sharp. But what is important is a primer for your eyeshadows. I am going to use the same concealer, so I'm going to apply it on my eyelid and blend it out all over the eyelid, all the way up to my brow bone. You can obviously use a primer that's for the eyeshadows, but I like to use a concealer because it covers up the veins a little better, because it has a bit more coverage than the regular primer for the eyeshadows, and the shade looks even from the eyelids to the brow bones. Then I'm going to set it with my Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder and a fluffy brush from Profusion, and you want to do it in tapping motion so the concealer doesn't move. And I highly recommend for you to do this if you're a beginner, because this is going to help so much with blending out the eyeshadows. They're just going to blend out a lot nicer, faster, especially if you're going to be applying dark eyeshadows. It's just going to apply a lot more smoother. This does make a huge difference. So once you apply it in tapping motions all over, all the way to the brow bone, I'm going to swipe away the excess powder. Today I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette from LA Girl Pro Mastery, one of my favorite affordable palettes. It has a lot of really cute shades. I'm going to start with this one right here, and I'm going to be using this brush from Profusion, and I'm just going to apply this right on my crease right here. I'm just going to go back and forth. If you don't set the concealer, I suggest you apply the eyeshadow in tapping motions like this, and then you go like this to blend it out. But since we did set it, it's just, you can just apply it like this and just keep going back and forth. And I like to go back and forth right on the crease, and then go a little bit higher than that, and then just blend it out like this in circular motions. If you have small eyes or hooded eyes, you can blend out the eyeshadow looking straight forward like this, and it's gonna help because you want the eyeshadow to go above the crease so you can be able to see it when you have your eyes open and not just closed. You want it to be visible right here so the eyeshadow can be a lot more noticeable. So just keep blending it out. And like I said, since I did set the concealer, it's just gonna blend out a lot easier and faster. I also want to apply that eyeshadow on my lower lash line, but I'm going to be using a different brush. This one's smaller. You do want to use a small brush to apply your eyeshadows on your lower lash line, because you don't want to start with a lot, especially if you're working with dark eyeshadows because you want to apply it as close to the lash line as you can, and then just blend it out a little bit lower. And I just blend it out by going back and forth like this, and then don't forget to connect it with the eyeshadow on the top right on your outer corner. I'm going to grab the same concealer I used earlier, and I'm going to grab some with my finger. You don't want to grab too much, just enough to cover up your whole eyelid. And I'm going to tap it and apply it in tapping motions right on my lid like this. And then once it's all over my eyelid, to blend it out using the finger, just like to go like this. And I pretty much use the tip of my finger to blend out the edges, because the edges they do have to be blended out in order for the eyeshadow, the shimmery eyeshadow, to look nice and blended. So I like to just go like this, and I do it a little bit higher than my crease. I obviously don't want to cover up the first eyeshadow I applied, so I just go lightly and slowly start blending it out above the crease. But I do need a little more, since I do feel that it's drying a little bit and you don't want to apply the shimmery eyeshadow like that. So I just grabbed a little more, and I'm just going to apply it right on top of that, and then again just start blending this out. But I'm going to do this one quicker, that way it doesn't dry up. From the same eyeshadow palette, I'm going to grab this shade right here using this little sponge. It's the little brush I used for the eyeshadow on my lower lash line, but these work so good to apply shimmery eyeshadows. I'm going to apply it in tapping motions on my lid, and I didn't have to wet the brush or anything because these eyeshadows are so creamy and pigmented, especially on top of a concealer. It's just going to make it stand out. If you don't want to apply concealer, or you don't have a concealer, you can also apply just an eyeliner. That's something that's creamy. Just apply it on your eyelid, just as long as it's blended on the edges. It's going to hold on to the eyeshadow, and it's going to look a lot better. I do get a little bit of the fallout with this eyeshadow, but that's fine because it's not a lot, and plus it does apply really good on my eyelid. So that doesn't bother me. And then for the edges, I'm just going to blend it out with the same little sponge very lightly. You don't want to apply a lot of pressure, and you don't want to have a lot of product on this sponge or brush, whatever you're using to blend it out. You just go lightly on the edges until you're liking how it looks. And like I said, if you have small or hooded eyes, you do want this eyeshadow to show when you have your eyes open, like when you're looking straight forward. So this is the side I just used. I'm going to go back to this little brush right here, and I'm going to grab this eyeshadow, and I'm going to apply this in tapping motions right on the outer corner of my eyelid. So I just apply it there. Once it's on, I'm going to start blending out the edges from I'm just going to keep this on the outer corner. You can see on this eye over here, it's just the outer corner. So I'm just going to blend it out because you don't want a harsh line to show like the separation of the shimmery eyeshadow and this eyeshadow. And then I'm going to blend it out a little bit towards my crease, and then on the outer corner. And this part is very simple because it's just this little part right here, just the outer corner. I feel like I just said outer corner so many times right now. To me, this is such a gorgeous combination, this burgundy color and then the shimmery eyeshadow. I feel like that looks so good. Then again, going to this little sponge, I'm going to grab that same matte eyeshadow just on the tip of the sponge and apply that on the waterline. You don't want to grab a lot of product because then it's going to go in your eye. So I'm just going to do this and then just keep applying until it's all covered up. You can also do this with a Q-tip if you don't have this little sponge. I was going to put black eyeliner, but I didn't want my waterline to be too dark because then my eyes were going to look too small. So I feel like this color looks so good and so much better than a black eyeliner. And the eyelashes that I'll be applying are from my brand, Eyesome Luxe, in the style Eyesome Luxe. And these are non-magnetic, for those of you that don't know. I do offer magnetic eyelashes at a very affordable price. So if you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check the description box. I'll have the link to my website and to my Instagram and Facebook so you guys can follow me if you want. But yeah, these are very long and dramatic. And the band isn't so thick, so it's pretty easy to apply. And last but not least, I'm going to apply the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara on my lower your lashes. And this completes the whole look. Now for this eyeshadow, you don't need to apply fake eyelashes for the look to be completed. With your natural lashes just curled and with mascara, it'll look so nice. I just wanted this look to be a little bit more dramatic, which is why I added the fake eyelashes. But yeah, and for the lips, the color I would wear is a nude one, or a burgundy would look so nice because the outer corner on the eyelid is burgundy, so it's gonna look nice. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of this whole look, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, please. And share it with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for your love and your support. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!